Yeah. Pocket full of money, swisher loaded with gas. Celebration in order, you're now watching a class. Pocket full of money, swisher loaded with gas. Celebration in order, you're now watching a class. Pocket. Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody back to Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. I am your host, Cornbread Capone, and today, I'm gonna attempt to do an intro. The man sitting across from me is considered a legend and a veteran as far as the music scene is concerned within Houston, Texas. To his credit, 10 albums, possibly more, but I did a little research and I found 10 albums. And he also has a radio show called Coalition Ambush, which is on 90.1 Saturday nights. The man I'm speaking on is the one and the only Murda One.
Yes. Thank you for the nice intro. Little correction, I have 20 projects.
20.
From CDs to DVDs, collaborations. I started 3 groups.
Okay.
And from the 3 groups, I like giving back. So what I do, I have friends that records and they're putting that out. I say, let's do an album together. That's one group I started. I got another friend that does the same thing. That's another project. So just I practice my craft. You know what I'm saying? To stay, because sometimes we sit here and don't do anything.
Right.
So by me getting with some other artists, it sharpen my tools, even though I'm older in the game, and it keep me relevant to what's happening in the game.
Right. Yeah. Now, out of all your bodies of work that you've created, is there one that stands out? Is there one that's a favorite to you? Possibly more than one that's a favorite to you?
I want to say they're all my favorite because I learn each day from each one of them. See, when I started off as a DJ. I DJ some of the hottest clubs in Houston, and I stopped DJing clubs like maybe 94. It's too much shooting and killing.
Right.
And I was like, let me go ahead and play with this rap game. So I changed over to the rap game. Well, let's start here. In '85, I met one of the greatest lyricists today, K. Reno.
Right.
I was a popular MC at my school, Jesse H. Jones, Me Klondike Cat, Gangsta Nip. That's a few names. ACTRIP. And we ruled Jones. We was we were the head for it. And K. Reno was the head at Sterling. So we was competitors before friends. We competed in when talent shows were real popular. And K started SPC in '87. I was one of the first outside his clique because whoever he went to school with was already in there. So that changed the rap game, the DJ game to the rap game. I still DJ, but the rap scene was more lucrative, and ready to have some heads off because we were battle rappers. We weren't no regular rappers. That's why we stand different than everybody in H-Town. So to say what you just asked was, I like all of them because it's the passion of I can do this and I don't need your help to do it.
Right. Yeah. I can relate to that because I'm also a battle. Well, I started off battle rapping. I'm a battle rapper at heart.
Yes.
And I create music with that same motion and theme behind it.
Yes, sir. You have to.
And I wanted to ask you, being that you got your start back then with K. Reno and SPC, how do you feel about the way the game is today as opposed to how it used to be back then? Because I'm used to how it used to be.
Right.
But today, I don't know. I can't stand 100% behind it.
Well, just look at it like this. As a battle rapper, everybody wasn't a battle rapper when you start rapping.
Right.
So we needed, everything was put out in the game. Now, do I agree with some of the rap we hear? No, but the game needs it because it makes the better come back out. I had a friend always told me, if it wasn't for the weak, the strong would have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's where we're at. That's most definitely, and that's the way I live. Anything I do from family life to music life, I challenge every move I make.
Right. Well, tell everybody about this radio show.
Man, the coalition ambush. It was something that was overdue. I had people that knew I DJ'd, and they always, we need you on this radio show. We need you to bring a show. We want this and that. And I was like, nah, if it can't be done the way I want it, I'm not going to do it. So me and Reno, again, we started a talk show at 90.1. And this guy named Don, he was like, Murda, we need your own show, man. I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do it. Because Reno, we started off as a DJ talk show, and Reno like, nah, I want a straight talk show. So I was more the co-host and the engineer, which, like I said, my DJ skills, Reno not working the boards. So I did that, and I said, okay, if I do it, it has to be the way I want to do it. And at that time, there's a lot of politics at 90.1 because I know it's a crazy slug, but our people don't get the best stations over there.
Right.
So that go to challenge right there. You feel me? As a challenge to me, like, okay, I need to do this. So when I told Don I was gonna do it, I had 7 or 8 DJs want to be a part of it, but it wasn't how I wanted. I wanted how I wanted structure, and someone gonna be on the same page. So I went and got a guy that I grew up with called DJ CMC. That's my DJ. His mentality is the same as mine. So I was like, this is how we're gonna run it. Never independent artists, no local. I mean, all local. Some people out of state, out of town. Lonely independent artists. So right today, I have over 600 songs in 4 years of independent artists I play on the show, and that's how the show came up from the ground up. Because I wanted to give back. Sometimes we don't have money to give back, but we have other things to give back. So my platform is to give them radio that they maybe never in life gonna get.
And that's good, man, because I only wish something like that existed where I came from, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it's so biased. The game, by being in the game over 30 some years, I saw the good, the bad, the ugly. I ran with some of the top DJs that run the radio stations that don't even shout SPC name out or Murda One name out. But that's the challenge we started SPC with. We didn't care about that because we're going to make you listen to us. Now we're legendary artists and coalition in Houston who birthed a lot of people in the game.
Right.
So
Right.
that's that other challenge.
Well, I mean, I believe in giving people their flowers and giving people their just due because it's a lot that gets publicized and gets talked about, but then there's a lot that doesn't get talked about at
Yes,
all.
true.
And that's kind of part of why I, created this platform to showcase that. You know what I'm saying? I have to ask you this question because I ask everybody this question and I don't want to forget.
Okay.
Does Murda One have a top 5 best rappers?
Independent or around the globe?
We can go independent and then we can go top 5 around the globe.
Well, if you're been a part of my history, everybody know Chuck D. Public and him is my favorite artist. That's number 1 top.
Right.
Then I'm Ice Cube, Scarface. Let me see. K Reno, I'm a fan of K Reno. I'm not just a brother of K Reno, I'm a fan of K Reno. K Reno was ahead of time when I first met him. That's what made us join together. So
Right.
that's 4. 0. That's my top 5. I mean, it could be more, hard to make that order, but Chuck D has inspired me to be more political and direct to the games. Cube and Face, they brought the hood out of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Reno just got the lyrics.
Everything.
He's
I
just,
believe in everything he do from story. His storytelling is crazy, and he's on point. It's a difference because I'm an activist also. So if your word is not being bonded, I don't play with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I feel that, man. Well, what do you have coming up musically in this year or possibly next year?
Well, I'm sitting on 4 projects right now. I'm gonna drop in the next month. I'm gonna drop what's called Murda Demic. I named that after the pandemic. And the reason I did that, them was the songs that I recorded during the pandemic. So I
Right.
was like, how could I be relevant but sitting back but not in the streets like I was? So it came with Murda Demic. I just took the pan off and put Demic. I got Powerwall on it, RIP. I got Big Pokey on it. Um, I have my homeboy Jeremy Mincy, used to play for Dallas Cowboys. Charlie Boy, oh man, it's Ronnie Spencer, Cliche, Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad from the Mars 45. That's just some names, I got. And I have an SPC project I put out. I have myself, and we also have one coming out. But I had one before the idea of the second one just came out, and I have another album called Game, Given All My Experiences. So that's like a baby to me right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And any projected time when any of this music is gonna drop, or
Well,
you
Murder
just
Denver coming real soon.
okay?
Game, I've been playing with Game because it's really about my life. So I take songs, I pull songs, I take songs. So it's really, I need to stop listening to my own music and go ahead and put the project out. Because as I listen, I say, no, that don't fit my scheme. So I'm a scheme guy. If the scheme ain't right, I don't play with it. Even with the music, with the radio station, I have a scheme for each show. Sometimes I don't play certain stuff because I have a scheme behind it. So I'm always trying to figure out something different.
Right.
Yeah.
You said something interesting about Public Enemy, and I have a few close friends who I speak to about music, and we have real conversations that
Okay.
go sometimes a little deeper than music. But what I wanted to ask you was, um, I think I want to say this happened to me at 90.1,
Mm.
and it was one particular night where I think okay, this is when Damage Control was on
Right.
Wednesdays, and everybody would come up there.
Matt Gonzalez. Yeah.
Right. So one particular night, K Reno was up there. And he's up there with a bunch of people, like a bunch of people. And we met him, we shook his hand, we talked to him, but then Mad Hatter came. And boy, them people that was with Reno, man, they started drilling Mad
Oh
Hatter
yeah,
about radio
most
play,
definitely.
about this, that, and the third, until Mad Hatters had to say, "Hey, hold on, I work there, but I still gotta adhere to certain
Yeah.
rules and guidelines,
Politics.
politics, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, but that is an explanation as to why certain records or a certain image or a certain way of life is being pushed and promoted, and then the more positive way of life, the more
Being hit. Yeah,
uplifting,
being hit.
that's being not played, not publicized, not talked about.
Right.
And I want, because you have a radio show,
Right.
I feel like you know about the truth about that.
Well, I knew it before I had the radio show. We never got radio play. We built SPC on the underground words, word of mouth, trunks, people booming systems, stuff like that. We local independent artists that do shows overseas. We don't have issues. We still at my age in the game, we still selling music, not as much as we did, but we still eating off of it. Reno haven't worked a day in his life, and his audience is like 15 years old now. So the politics of it, man, is sometimes they fear the artists if they have something to say. If For us, we don't listen to nobody. We make our own moves, so they can't tell us what to do. They can't tell us put a dress on. They can't tell us to wear skinny jeans. They can't say don't say this, don't say that. That's why we always been SBC always been an independent artist through the whole thing. So radio is it's a controlling thing. If they can't control you, they don't want no parts of it. I don't care how hot the song. And you said on Mad Hatter issue, when Hawk was living, everybody know Hawk was played back to back to back on the radio. So it was more politics behind it because he wasn't just played. It's under the table. He got him played. So when he came out with another hit, even though he was popular, they still wanted some under the table paper. So there's too much politics behind it. If you ain't paying to play, you ain't gonna get played.
Right.
It don't matter your talent. You can have the best talent there is. It don't matter.
Yeah, and that's the game that people need to hear because a lot of people are under a certain presumption. Like people have this perception of I hear a lot of people say when you make it, and I say, what are you talking? What do you mean by making it?
Right.
They think that making it is when you're on television.
Right.
And you
right.
have this, that, and the third. And I'm like, that's not what I mean by, I don't even use the words make it.
Right. Well,
because
that's what they getting fed. You go to a table. Now let me rephrase that. When a woman has a kid drinks milk, breast milk, whatever. He don't start eating meat till you give it to him. Think about it. Survival.
Right.
That kid didn't know nothing about meat till you gave it to him, but he knew about that milk, and that's all you had to give to him, that milk, and it nourished him the whole way till you gave him that meat. That's when it started killing each other. Because now I need meat. I don't want that milk anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people might not catch it, but I hope they do.
Oh yeah.
Do you plan to spread into any other arenas of entertainment, like movies or? It's so much. It's the doors is open with artists today. You can go in the fashion direction. You can go in the movie direction. You can go.
Right.
It's so much you could do.
Well, I got my hands in a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff. Believe me, I've been in the game over 35 years.
Right.
So I dipped and dabbed. I didn't make it the priority. You know what I'm saying? But like right now, my brother from to drop a movie called War in South Park.
Okay.
And it has all the SUC artists, all SPC artists, and that'd be out in like the next month. So I did a debut on it, but some things I let other people have. That's like studio. I know how to run a studio, but guess what? I don't want to run the studio. I want to be the artist.
Right.
I want to sit back and let you do your job, and I do my job. I ain't gonna be good at everything I put myself into.
Right.
Yeah. So
I feel that. I mean, that's you can't fight you can't be mad at the honesty.
Right.
Oh man, you did mention Podine, and
yes.
If you would like to speak on Podine, what would you like to say about Big Pokey?
Man, we had a different relationship, man. My son athlete, so me and Pokey talked about my son, and I like the project I did. I let him hear some of the project because he's younger than me. I'm older, so I feel whatever I do is perfect. And he tell I got his advice on certain things, but he's a good, well-mannered dude. You never heard no beef about him. He gonna stop to speak to you, and he gonna hold it down for the H like he always have. And that's all I can give about him, man.
Yeah, I had to speak on that because that's something that weighed on me very heavy.
It still is. It still is. But what can you say with so many people already said?
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Well, before we get up out of here, is there anything that you would like to say? Anything that you would like to promote, plug?
Well, Unpopular Honesty. I want to appreciate you and Italy for letting an OG like me come in. Sometimes just push you a little further in the game, make you stay in the game. Because sometimes you're sitting at home, you're still doing music, but you don't know you're still being irrelevant to certain people. So by just getting this interview brings a whole lot out of me. It brings a lot to your show, brings a lot to my show. Because now it's like a family we just came up with. You know what I'm saying? We united as one now. Your phone call is my phone call.
Right.
So my projects, stuff like that, just all social media. You can Google me, you can't find me. It's nothing I have to really give out there, but that and just keep moving, man. Because the H, just be you and don't be no one else, man. In the music game for the youngsters coming out there, don't sell your soul.
Yeah, and I would like to thank Italy and H-Town Live for hooking up this interview. with Mr. Murda One. I appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you.
On behalf of Murda One SPC, I am Cornbread Capone. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And until next time, everybody, you know what I say: peace and love, because that's what the world needs. You know what I'm saying?